Before each race, she injects herself with a dose of performance-enhancing drugs and then hides the evidence under the seat of her bicycle. As a result of taking these drugs, the girl has won 8 consecutive world championships. She thought everything was covered up seamlessly, until after one race, her coach suddenly received a phone call from the race organizers informing them to immediately conduct a random drug test. The moment she heard the devastating news, Julie was completely paralyzed with fear.
Qu'est-ce qu'on fait?
In a desperate attempt to save her career, she got down on the floor and started doing push-ups, hoping that the intense exercise would speed up her circulation. Meanwhile, her trainer ran out of the room and frantically pressed every floor button in the elevator to stall the officials. Nonetheless, Julie hesitated, syringe in hand, unable to inject herself until her trainer intervened just in time to help her finish. Time was running out. They must move quickly. When the elevator reaches the 8th floor, the trainer has Julie hop on the stationary bike and pedal as hard as she can to boost her metabolism while he frantically squeezes saline into her. Suddenly, there's a knock on the door. In a hurry, the coach pushes Julie into the bathroom and tells her to use the shower as a cover while she injects the rest of the saline. Their only hope was to dilute the concentration of the drug in her bloodstream in order to pass the test. The organizers were growing impatient and were about to break in when Julie finally stepped out of the shower looking very calm. Thanks to their quick response and contingency plans, Julie passed the blood test with flying colors. To avoid another close call, the coaches found a personal physician to better manage her doping regimen, adjusting the dosage of her medication to help her dodge future tests. To ensure Julie's continued dominance, the coach intentionally increased her intake of banned substances. Fueled by the drugs, Julie was like a horse off the track, fast and unstoppable, stealing the show with explosive performances. In the end, Julie lived up to her name and won the championship title again. But during the post-race doping control, while all the other athletes were supervised to provide urine samples, Julie, as the champion, was singled out and asked to provide a blood sample. Panicked and weak-minded, Julie froze. But under the close scrutiny of the organizers, she had no choice but to obey the order. Back home, her family throws her a joyous celebration. But only Julie knows the fear that lurks in her heart. If the blood test comes back positive, her career will be over. However, her coach reassures her not to worry. He has come up with a plan. To make her blood levels look normal, the coach had Julie stay in a tent designed to simulate high-altitude conditions. After an hour, her red blood cell count adjusts to normal levels. However, this method of manipulating test results was costly, $500,000. To protect her career, Julie agrees and manages to dodge another bullet. But just a few days later, as she was preparing for the World Cup, her trainer suddenly told her that their personal physician had been arrested for illegal drug sales. Worried that the police would track them down, Julie and her coach rushed to destroy all the evidence. Despite their efforts, the next day Julie finds herself at the center of a huge media storm. Faced with mounting public suspicion and relentless scrutiny, she suddenly doesn't know what to do.